off. Chris from GTW said he's taking January off. Everybody's going to take January off. All right, so let me switch the screen here. This is show 50, everybody. Show 50. We made it to 50. I just want to give our disclaimer that we always try to give at the beginning, in that all things Fantasy Grounds talk show is meant to teach and help, but the opinions stated by the three of us on the show are not those of Smiteworks USA LLC or Fantasy Grounds. We are just independent, non-official people. Yeah, Drake, 50 shows. And tonight's subject is, we're going to be talking about all the DMs Guild collaborations that I've done with other people. And we're going to showcase an item right up front, and we may or may not have a special guest joining us in the show. I will leave that as a surprise, but he will maybe be here or maybe not. So we'll let you know later, and then we're going to give away some prizes, obviously, because we always do that. So let's get to it. Here's the list. If you want to go to the DMs Guild, I'll put this link in the chat if you want to follow along. This is a list of all of the DMs Guild items that have my name, Rob Toohey, on it. And there was one published today called Critically Awesome Essentials. This is a Diablo Bob production. And we are going to take a look at it right now in Fantasy Grounds. Many of you that follow the channel or that are in my Discord, you know that this has been coming along the way, but some of you might be caught by surprise, or if you're watching this on YouTube later, you might not know about it. So this is an extension, which goes in your extensions folder that makes this work, and then it also makes use of modules. And right now there is one module that's available. So the name of the product is Critically Awesome Essentials, and then with that is modules, of which the first module is called Druid Essentials. So here it is. Here's the module, Critically Awesome Essentials, Druid Essentials. So again, just to remind you, you have the extension installed, which I didn't show. I can go open another Fantasy Grounds and show you what that looks like. Before you open any campaign that you'll be using, you'll install this extension, which you would download, and here it is. It's called 5e Critically Awesome Essentials. That's the one you put in. So now we open this, good, and it's got instructions and everything you need here. We're not going to go too in depth into the instructions. We're just going to actually show you how it works. So let me open up. I have nothing open, so it's all blank canvas here. I'm going to open up just the Fantasy Grounds maps. I'm going to have a character, which is an example druid. And let me grab a map. So what's that? Images. We'll just use this battle map like this.
We need the PHB.
You don't need the PHB. If I'll get to that. You might need, if you want to look at stat blocks, you'll need the Monster Manual or Volo's Guide.
Okay.
But other than that, you don't need anything but what you have. So
cool.
Here is the combat tracker, and that's just an NPC that's in there that we were messing around with at some point. So I'm going to put the character in there, so the example druid is in there. I'm also going to put that person on the map, so there's that. So this is just an example druid. Now what you would do is, like, say I have wild shape, and this is old stuff, so I don't want to confuse people, so let me get rid of that. Let's say I want it to be, I'm going to go to the spells list and look at all the wild shapes. And let's say I'm just a second level druid. I just got my wild shape, and I'm allowed to use, half or a quarter or whatever the CR is that you can use. Let's just say I want to do, a cow. That'll be fun. I'm going to turn into a cow. So I'm going to drag that over there. Now I should have maybe gone through and, you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to go through and just wipe out crap just so that it's easier, that we don't get confused by what we're seeing. And I'm just going to take everything off that we don't need. I could have just made a blank new character, which might have been faster, but since I'm doing this, I'll just get rid of everything like that. Okay, so blank slate. Good. So now I'm going to drag on, what did I say? Cow. I'm going to drag on the cow. Wait a minute, hold on, cow. Drag it on. Why didn't it work? Oh, yeah, because I keep doing it 65 times, that's why. Okay, there it is. So the wild-shaped cow, all I did was drag it from the list, and it's got all the stuff that you need in it. So now let's say I'm saying to the DM, I, Mr. Druid, am going to change into a cow. I'm going to wild shape. So I'm going to take this effect. I'm going to drag it onto the token. It changes me into a cow. It resizes the token. And in the combat tracker, it'll tell you everything that's happened. So I've shifted. I'm a cow. My health is 15. So you see that it's set my health to 15. My strength is 10. Sorry, AC is 10. There's 10 right there. My strength is 18. Yes. My dex is 10. Yes. And my con is 14. Yes. Now, I suppose it would have helped if I would have shown the stats before we shifted. But I'll shift back, and then you'll see that they all go back to the regular. And then it says, note, speed is 30. Fantasy Grounds doesn't allow you to set the speed, at least not yet. So the speed cannot be changed, but it does tell you that there's a note and that you have charge and your passive perception is 10. So basically one click and I'm now a cow and I can do all the things I do and I shift and we have the battle and blah, blah, blah. Now let's take some damage here. I have 15 hit points, so let me damage myself with this other, whatever this guy does. I'll just get an attack here, some damage. 2d8 thunder. Let's do that and see what happens. Okay, so I took 16 damage. So you saw it shift back automatically. And it put 16 damage on me. And it carried through it carried through the damage, and then this, and there might be that doesn't seem, yeah. So now I don't know if it was right or not because I didn't check before because I'm an idiot. But my stats shifted back. My AC went back to 14, which is what it was before. But I don't know that damage. I guess I had 15 hit points, and I must have been wounded by 3 before, but I didn't check it. So let's just do another test. I'm gonna say my max hit points are 50 for the guy. So now let's just do another test. So I'm just gonna reapply myself in there. Okay, good. Now I'm gonna get not a cow, but let's do something good. Let's do like, a polar bear. And Diablo Bob, if he's here in the chat, might be screaming at me like, oh, that's not how that works. Okay. So here's me. I'm Mr. Druid. So I have 13 strength, 16 dex, and 12 con, and 50 hit points. Now I wild shift to polar bear by clicking one button. Boom. Oh, I didn't have myself. Didn't I have myself targeted? I guess not. Oh, okay. So something's wrong, everybody. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Oh. Oh yeah, duh. Okay, I know what it is. That token isn't me. That token's not me. All right, let's try that all again. Here we go. One click. Boom. Polar bear. Stats have changed. Yeah, stats have changed. Hit points have changed.
And your size.
And my size changed. And so I'm large now. All the tokens that are used are free what do you call it? Non-copyright. So they're all available to be used, not a problem. And let's give myself some damage like we did last time. Let's just damage me there. Probably gonna have to do it a couple times. All right, so I took 12 damage. I took 21. I've gotten down to half. I took 30. Okay, I've got 1 hit point left. So now when I take damage, I'm going to shift back. Watch the character sheet. Watch the strength of 20, the dex of 10, and con of 16. Watch that as I take this damage. They all shift back. I took 7 points of damage, so it went 6 through. It put me back to my max of 50 and gave me the 6 damage, and now I'm back to regular size. So everything's fucking automatic, everyone. This is amazing.
Sweet.
It
That
is
is
so
amazing.
sweet. And so anybody, there's way more to it than that. There's instructions in here that tell you how to use it. If you're a player, if you're a DM, it does a lot of stuff. And there's information for Circle of the Moon, which is a specialized way of wild shape than all the rest of the druids. So all those informations are in here. They're what am I trying to say? They're categorized, or there's two, there's if you're a moon druid right here, or if you're not a moon druid right here. So the different information is there. And there's also a reference sheet, so you don't really have to where is that? Quick play, quick ref doc, moon druid wild shape. So you can have this information right here. You don't have to keep looking shit up the whole time. It tells you get 2 wild shapes per day. Wild shape is a bonus action. Duration lasts half your druid level in hours, that should say. But anyway, it kind of gives you a little cheat sheet, so you don't have to go digging through the player's handbook if you don't have it memorized. So really super cool. And if you guys have questions about that, it seems pretty straightforward. This is a thing that allows you to click one button and wild shape. And if you take the damage beyond your hit points, you shift back automatically. If you want to voluntarily shift back, you just remove the effect, and then everything shifts back. So does anybody have any questions about that? What about you two? You guys have any questions?
I think it's awesome. I'm just watching.
Same here. It's really cool.
It is awesome.
That is super cool. Cutting edge.
It's cutting edge. This will make it so that people who previously wanted to play druids, but it was such a pain in the ass, they didn't want to mess with it. Now you can. And let's get the actual bookmark and place it in the chat for people. And then I'll go and show that. It's called Critically Awesome Essentials right here. So I'll put the link in the chat. Now, guys, this was Diablo Bob's work. He's the guy that made this. He and I are in conjunction to, sell it on the DM's Guild for people so people can get this and have it and use it. And we priced it at $10. So we talked to a few people and we asked around and thought, like, what is this worth to people? And so we kind of came to the price of $10. But what we've done is we put it up for $6. So we put it up for 40% off, and it'll stay 40% off until the end of the year. So if you want to get it, if you're thinking about get it, if you know somebody that needs it or wants it, tell them to come get it today, or not today, but get it by the end of the year, because then on January 1st it'll go up to $10. So right now it's only $6. And for those of you that aren't familiar with how DM's Guild works, WotC and Smiteworks and One Bookshelf, they all get a cut. And so that leaves Diablo and I $3 to split. And he and I split that how we split it. That's like private information, but of course he gets the most because he did all the work.
Cool.
And so there you go, everybody. We were really excited about it. I'm still excited about it. And then Mr. Leroon himself, did a little graphic that shows you kind of what we went over in Fantasy Grounds. You guys, if you can't see that too good on stream, you don't need to, because we just showed you how to work it in stream. But that way, anybody that comes and looks at it on on the DM's Guild to go, oh, I see. You click here and you click there, and now you're this on the map. So it's cool. So there you go, everybody.
Drake wants you to show him the wolf. How does the wolf attacks work? I mean, I know it's the same process.
You know what? I never even. Yeah, that's good. I'm glad he said that because I never did show an attack. Okay, so close. Oh yeah. By the way, Fantasy Grounds. Switch back to Fantasy Grounds. Wait 10 seconds till shit works. That's a Windows thing. I don't know why. Fucking bullshit. Okay. All right. So let me go get Wolf. Wolf. Yeah, I like the Wolf because the Wolf has pack tactics. And also can knock people prone. So let's put the wolf on here. Boom. All right, now let's change into a wolf. Let me close this. Oh, let's put the other token on the... Just put this token out there too. Whoa, somebody's big. Ooh, aren't you proud? All right, proper NPC. Remember? That was a long time ago. So I'm here. I've got the wolf effect. Polar bear, wolf, here it is. So I'm going to shift into a wolf. Boom. A wolf is medium size, so the token didn't get bigger. And then your attacks are here. So I move in, I target, and you see when I move my token, it shows who the token is. And when I drop it, it goes back to wolf. It was really cool. So you can kind of tell who the player is as it moves. Okay, so I'm going to target the proper NPC, and we see in the combat tracker. Oh, because it has to be that person's turn. Hello, there we go. Okay, so I'm targeted the proper NPC. Now on the character sheet, see again, you don't need the stat block. You've got everything you need here. So the wolf has. You know what? Let me get rid of this because I'll get confused. The wolf has a bite attack only. And
prone effect.
Oh yeah, you know, hey, is Bob even here? I wish he was here.
He's in the chat.
Is he in the chat? Okay, so this didn't get fixed. This isn't prone. This should be, and he's got a list of things. This should actually say wolf prone like that. That's just how I would do it. It doesn't have to have the wolf name on it, but you know how when I make my codes, I like to have labels for DMs. So. I would do the attack, and I missed, but let's just say I hit. I'll do the damage. So it does the damage, and it tells you in here what the attack is. Now, when I open it to show you, the bite attack is really just a label. Because if you notice, it says bite attack plus 2d4 plus 2 piercing. So he's got bite attack in here as a damage type. But the reason he's got it in there is just so that you'll see it. Like if it's not there, then you wouldn't know. It just says 2d4 plus 2 piercing. So it doesn't affect anything. It doesn't change the damage or do anything like that. Why do people call me when I'm streaming? They know I'm streaming. And so he just has it in there so that, like, for example, up here on the cow, there's a gore attack and a charge plus gore attack. So it's just a way to keep it easier to see in there. But let's say I hit him and I damage him, and now I'm gonna roll the save. And let's say that he I didn't target. Let's say he failed to save, then I would make him prone. And so every animal, every beast shape that's in there, the whole entire list, all these beast shapes, they all have, let me go to the second page here, and it goes up to CR6, which is the highest you can wild shape into, and he also has the elementals in here. Because there's some fakakta thing where you can fucking become an elemental when you're in wild shape. It's crazy. It's way overpowered. I love it. So that's there too. So like say we turned into a water elemental, we would have you're immune to all this shit, and it's crazy, and you have an attack that's 2d8 plus 4 bludgeoning magic, and it's crazy. So basically everything that you need and all the notes that you need are there so that when it's in the combat tracker, you do not ever need the stat block. Your DM does not need to open a stat block and share it with you, and then you go, oh, I lost it. Oh, I didn't hotkey it. Oh, fuck, I don't know where it is. Oh my god, I don't know how to use it. Oh, I can't target. I've got to drag and drop the dice. None of that shit. It's all over, everybody. It's done. So there you go. I hope that answers the question.
Nice.
Drake says, so you can just drag the form over when you shape and not have your sheet full of shapes. That's right. No more multiple character sheets. No more nothing. And if all you ever do is want to change into a brown bear, you can just put that one on your character sheet. If you want to have every form available to you, you can open the spells thing and drag them all over. So they're always there. The spells list, this works. Most people are familiar with the way my coding packages work, which is all spells, all feats, all race traits, and all class features are all coded in the spells list. So this is the same thing. All the weapons, or not all the weapons, but all the items, everything's in the spell list. And so now these are all here too, and they say wild shape. So if you have 75 modules open with all the codes, but you just want the wild shapes, you can go wild shape, and it'll narrow it down to just only things with wild shape. And then you can go, oh yeah, hyena, bam, I want it, bam, put it on there like that. It's done. It's over.
So how many animal shapes do you think are there? I didn't count. Roughly.
I didn't count. Diablo Bob probably knows, but it's every beast in the monster manual and every beast in Volo's guide, CR6 or lower, plus the elementals.
Sweet.
So there isn't anything that isn't there that you would need at any level of druid. It's all
nice.
There. Yeah. So I'm playing druid on Friday now, so I couldn't be more excited.
Whoa.
And we used it on Friday, and I shifted into a brown bear, and then I got stuck in the hall, and I was like, fuck this, and I unshifted. And then I shifted into a wolf. I made 2 attacks. Or no, I made 1 attack, and I missed, and then I got killed. And so then I shifted out again. And then we were playing Dungeon of the Mad Mage. And then I shifted into a brown bear again to fight a shield guardian. And I fought him a couple of things, and then the game was over. And then so now I have to wait till next week. But it was fun, and it was so easy because all I did was push one button. I didn't have any stat blocks. I didn't have to do any of that crap that we've always had to do. So it's really nice. So
it's a really good development.
We spent a lot of time talking about that. We're not going to spend.
Holy Testicle
Tuesday! It's McClancy has resubbed. He has resubbed. Thank you, sir, for 8 months in a row. And that was the Jim Carrey voice, so he must have subbed at a higher level than the regular sub. Thank you, sir. So that's available on DM's Guild. We've already sold, I think, 9 copies, maybe more. Let's just check really quick. And then we'll move on to some of the other things. But I think people are really going to be excited about this. We really thought long and hard about how to explain it, and then Leroon made this awesome picture to show it. But, and I'm also going to make a video. I'm not going to use this video for it, but I'll make a special video just going through how you use it without all my extra Rob 2E bullshit talking on and on and on, never shutting up. I'll just make like a 2-minute video, and then I'll add it to the DM's Guild thing here. So yeah, we've sold 11 copies. And it's been up for 2 hours, maybe something like that. So people are, but there's at least 5 or there's a half a dozen people that were waiting for it that knew about it in advance. So there you go. All right, awesome.
Yep.
Any more questions? Let us know. Otherwise, we'll get on with going down the list. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go down the list of each thing. As of today, I have 102 products on the DM's Guild. So
wow.
We're going to kind of fly through these, and anything that's a product that's mine by myself that I did without anybody else involved, I'm gonna skip those, and we're gonna do those next week. So this is just author collaborations. So the author on that, again, in case I forgot to say it 19 times, was Diablo Bob. He helped with that.
It's in the chat.
He didn't help. He did it. I barely helped is really how you would say that. He is in the chat. Okay, good. So This was one people saw me working on last Monday, and I was very upset because I didn't think I was going to get it done, and it looked like there was a lot of this stuff that was going to be hard to do. And one of the cool things about it, this is Last Christmas, where your mission is to attack Santa's workshop. And there's pre-generated characters. I think it's a level 3 one-shot. And some of the pre-generated characters in there are the two guys from the Home Alone movies, Hans Gruber, the Nakatomi Tower terrorist from Die Hard, Jack Frost, the Grinch, the Easter Bunny. There's 10 pre-generated characters that are in there that you can use to go on the mission. And this is by a guy by the name of Janek Selecki, and he's a really nice guy. I've done a couple of things with him. And so yeah, you go and you attack Santa's workshop, and it's a super fun one-shot. And it's out now for Christmas, so people can do it if they have a one-off game they want to do before the next couple weeks. This one is Notice Boards, 42 quests for Waterdeep and Skullport, and Walking Dude put this one together, and here's kind of a picture of what they are, but it's like job boards. So for your, how that was the thing back in AD&D, is when you started an adventure, if you, as a DM, if you didn't have anything for your players to do, or any specific mission that was given by an NPC, you'd send them into town to go look at the job board. So that's kind of what this is, but they're specific to Waterdeep and Skullport, and for the adventures that are out now. And of course, you don't have to use them for that. You can just put them right in your own adventures. But that's what that's about. This one is a cool one. This one was also done by Walking Dude, and this one is also from Janix Lucky, the same guy, and he has put together a Skullport, what's it called? Troll Skull Manor. And this is, spoiler alert, this not really, because WotC was very clear about telling people this. But when you play Waterdeep Dragon Heist, the characters get property. They receive property. And when I DM'd it, I didn't get too heavy into it. I did give the property to the players, but we didn't make much use of it. They went there a couple times. But all it is like one map, and it says, okay, here's the property. But this is like a complete, internal things that you can do with it. There's color maps in it, and so it's pretty cool. Simple rules for making deals and earning money. 16 upgrades to the manor and tavern. A cool-looking handout, which is the actual deed of ownership. 40 random events that occur, and a 2-hour short adventure. So that's the little cool thing regarding that manor that's part of Waterdeep. Encounters in the Savage Wilderness. There's many in this series. We'll see a few more of those as we go. This is by a guy, Jeff C. Stevens, who does a lot of stuff on the DM's Guild. And basically, these encounters series things, it's always encounters in the Savage blank. So cities, wilderness, jungle, whatever it is. And they're always about like between 15 and 20 or 25 encounters. This one had 19 in it. So basically, they're just little one-shots or just little encounters that you can include or drop in. And this has suggestions for Eberron, but most of these things, when these authors make it, they'll say, oh, this can be used in Waterdeep, or this can be used in, Tomb of Annihilation, or this one's for Eberron, or this one's for Ravnica. But most often, they're just suggestions, and you can certainly use them in any campaign, even your own homebrew stuff that you're doing. Doesn't really matter. The Feywild, yeah. This one was done by me. It's got it's more of a setting thing. There are random encounters, there's magic items, there's monsters, there's boss monsters, there's also subclasses for warlocks and sorcerers of the Fey kind. So it's more of a source book, even though it does include adventures in it. And it's full of lore, and I mean, I can't remember how big the PDF was, but it was pretty big. And so that's there, which is cool. And again, I'm kind of glossing over these because if I spend 5 minutes on each one, we're gonna be here for 3 hours. So, if you guys have questions, hopefully Furied or Leyrune will flag me and we'll stop and talk about it. The Faithful of Eberron. This was also done by Walking Dude. He helps me out on a lot of these. That's how I can crank him out faster, as I've got him working on it, and then he gets a cut of the money. So this one has 38 archetypes in it. It's got 2 new backgrounds. Here's an example shot of the Fantasy Grounds module, and somehow my screen is frozen. What the hell is going on here? What's up? What's up, browser? Oh, there we go. Again, this is a lot of information, a lot of new character options, and also lore about Eberron, in addition to what's in the module that was done by Keith. Keith? It's not Keith Richards. He's a Rolling Stone. What's the guy's name? Keith Baker. Keith Richards. That's who did it. He took time out from rock and roll to write a Dungeons & Dragons. Unknown Whom is me by myself, so I'm going to skip that. Unknown Whom, actually, technically, this is a collaboration because I did not do this by myself. So Unknown Whom, guys, Unknown Whom itself, you're probably familiar with because that's like over 2.5 years old, and that was my one and only adventure that I wrote. Unknown Whom, I had a collaboration with Mr. Leyrune and Ms. Fury Fate and Mr. Farid. They all helped me. Marbanya and Dead Hand. Dead Hand? Is it Dead Hand?
Yeah.
Yeah. They did some maps. And so this actually is a collaboration. It's available in Fantasy Grounds or PDF. And it is a sequel to Unknown Whom. We play tested this in Whistler, and so those videos are online. And Sooner was the DM. He tried to kill us all. And it's level 3 to 6, a one-shot. Now, I say one-shot because it's not a campaign, and I refer to things that aren't campaigns as one-shot, but it's like a 16-hour one-shot. So not one session, but one little adventure from levels 3 to 6. And so that's there. Pretty awesome. And also, there will be a sequel to that, which is, hashtag in the works. The Madhouse of Tasha's Kiss. This is something that Walking Dude also helped with. He's done a lot. Walking Dude's done about 9 projects so far with me. And this is a 3 to 5 hour adventure for a party of 3rd through 10th level. So this is a scalable adventure. So that doesn't take you from level 3 to level 10. It's an adventure that you can play with any characters who are 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, or 10th level, and you can drop it right into whatever you're doing. So that's a pretty cool thing because it's all the encounters are scaled. So if your party is 5th level or if they're 8th level, doesn't matter. They're all scaled. So everything's there for you to run that, and that's a one-shot. And the next thing on the list is Mordenkainen's Lost Notebook. This is a very popular. And again, Sean Sides, that's Walking Dude. That's his real name. He did this one as well. And this one has 140 new spells, 16 Eldritch Invocations, over 100 magic items, and many things of lore about the Vistani. And for those of you that remember, the Vistani are the people that were in Curse of Strahd in Barovia. But all the spells and all the magic items and everything can be used in anything that you're doing. And this is a pretty awesome deal. So that's there as well. And I think that one's been out for, since October 18th. So there you go. So that's there too. And that the authors on that were 5 different DMs Guild authors put that together. So that's an awesome thing. Nobody has questions. They're just listening to me prattle on and on. So The Haunt 2 by Phil Beckwith. PB Publishing, is a sequel to The Haunt, and The Haunt itself was featured in Dragon Plus magazine. Here's The Haunt right here. Here's us playing The Haunt 2 at Whistler. At least I don't remember doing that, but that video might be in the wrong place. I don't know. Did we play that, Furied? Yeah, we did. Yeah, Gwydion ran it. That's right. Gwydion ran The Haunt 2, and he didn't tell us, and he surprised us and scared the shit out of us. That's right. So, that is a one-shot. That is a sequel to The Haunt, with that goddamn Fakakta scary doll in it that wigs everyone out. Myriad City of Tears. This is done by Charles Suerte. That is, I always forget Charles's name. It is, let me look. How come I can't remember his Discord name all the time? You guys know him. Nightmare. Yeah, Nightmare 5150. And he's done conversions for Smiteworks as well. And he's also a partner of mine in DM's Guild, helping with things. And this is a cool thing. So here's a couple screenshots from the Fantasy Grounds. But it's got an adventure with 30 possible encounters, 10 new monsters, and then in-depth factions, history, and lore. And this, again, is I think an Eberron thing. Myriad is an Eberron, isn't it? How come I don't know all of a sudden? You guys know?
I do not.
Yeah, I think oh yeah, Eberron, Forgotten Realms. Okay. So, again, pretty big. I think let me see how big the PDF was. The PDF was 105 pages. So that's how big the Fantasy Grounds module is. It was made from a 105 page PDF. So that's there. Yearning to Breathe. This was a Travis Leggy thing, also done by Walking Dude. It is a campaign for characters level 5 through 15. So it's an entire campaign that goes from level 5 to 15. So what more can you say? It's just another option for DMs and players to have fun with. Amazing. Ner'zhul's Dungeon Master Toolkit. So oddly, I'm going in reverse order of most recent to older. Ner'zhul's Dungeon Master Toolkit was put out after Toolkit 2. I don't know how it ended up being that way, but Charles Suerte helped me with this. And again, it's the first one, but it came out later. But this one's got magic item enhancement table, 6 adventures, 4 dungeons, 12 unique puzzles, and 11 dungeon maps. So it's got a lot of information in it. And then a little bit later, we'll see the Dungeon Master's Toolkit 2, which is also available. And both of those are different than the Game Master's Toolkit, which is sold in the Smiteworks store. Same kind of information, but not the same information, different stuff. Versatile NPCs 2, this one done by Darren Scott, and it's just straight out 35 NPCs that you can use in your game. So a lot of times when you have monsters, there's a lot of stat blocks for those. There's many, there's all kinds of monsters, but there's hardly ever any NPCs that you can use like monsters. So these are NPCs with backstories and backgrounds and everything else, and then they got the images and the tokens, and they're all in stat blocks. So you've got 35 NPCs to use if that's what you need to flesh out your stories in your games. I can sense that my voice isn't going to make it. Eberron Solo Adventure. So those of you that know about the solo adventures, the ones that BC Beats has been doing, BC Beats is also known as 5e Solo Game Books. That's his name on the DMs Guild. And Gwydion, on his charity stream, he just played through 3 or 4 of those on Thursday and Friday. And so he did 3 solo adventures, and then he did this one as like the 4th one, but it's an Eberron one, so it's separate from the other ones because the other ones are Faerun and this one's Eberron. But anyway, that's there, and these are these 5e solo game books things that he does. those are things that you can play alone. You can also play them with one other player. You can do DM and one player, but they're meant to be so you can actually play yourself. So if you can't get a game, if you don't know, if you don't have a group, or or it's 2 in the morning and you're an insomniac and you can't find anybody to play with, you can fire up Fantasy Grounds and load this in and just play by yourself, because it's kind of like a choose your own adventure and it walks you through it. And those are really fun, and he does a good job, the guy that writes those. Rarities of the Realms. This is a Travis Legge product, and it is straight out reference material. And so there's 9 races, 30 sub-race options, 24 subclasses, 5 backgrounds, and 6 feats. So it's straight out, like player, make a new character info. Nothing really to say beyond that. Random Wizard, that's me. That's next week. Cottage on the Long Road. This is I believe it's a one-shot. Let's just check it. How come it doesn't work when I click on it? Damn it. It's an introductory adventure for levels 1 through 3. So there you go. Again, Travis Legge, and if you're looking for a starting adventure, Cottage on the Long Road will get you going out of the gate. Dungeon Masters Bundle 2. This has 5 things in it. This is very popular. People love this one. It sells a lot of copies. And it's got a store's handbook. It's got an inns and taverns handbook. It's got a traveler's handbook, Dungeon Master's handbook, Dungeon Master's handbook 2. So it's just got tables upon tables, and basically anything that you need to fill in your game. So if I need a store over here, I need a shipwright, I need a stables, I need a tinkerer. It's got all this different kinds of stuff. You can see the list here. And it's got not just a few, but a lot. This took a long time to make, too. 500 NPC descriptions just in this one thing. I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on. 40 new monsters. It's funny because there's critical hit and miss tables in there, so there's more options for the ones I have. And, without spending too much time on it, it just goes on and on. So that's a really good bundle. 5 different modules that have more information in it than you could probably ever want. So that's awesome, and it's very popular. Nerds or Gals Dungeon Masters Toolkit 2. Same idea as the other one, only just much more stuff. 5 dungeons, 5 one-shots, 10 puzzles, 11 random encounter tables, over 100 magic items, and over 100 monsters. So that's a much bigger one than the first one, but that's there too. And guys, as I'm going through this, just prattling on and on and on without stopping and losing my voice, if you want to know anything in particular, let me know. That's a prequel to Yearning to Breathe Free. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, that might be right. I didn't know that. Let's see. In the Wake of Rage. This is an adventure that is frozen on my screen. Hello, thank you. Also, Travis Legge. Wow, he's done a lot of stuff. And this one is this an adventure? Explores some of the ways the Forgotten Realms may have been warped by Rage of Demons. So there's a new Dwarven subrace, new rules for Abyssal Tieflings, 1 class option for the Paladin, new tool set called the Inquisitor's Tools, makeshift equipment rules, that's pretty cool, 2 new feats, and epic boons. So I guess that is not an adventure, that is like a source book or a tools, helping with your characters and stuff. Storm King's Barrows. Oh my god, this was a big one. This was done by a lot of people, and it was big. The PDF was, how many pages was it? 134 pages. So yeah, this was a big one. And these are not shots from Fantasy Grounds. They are shots from the PDF. But they better show things. Here's a shot from Fantasy Grounds down here. But all the information... Now, see, why does my screen freeze like that? Why does it do that? I don't like that. Windows. But this has... Where does it tell you how many... Oh, here we go. 10 dungeons, 24 maps, 24 custom monsters, 12 magic items. The dungeons all include plot hooks and advice on how to continue the adventure. So that's just a massive thing full of adventuring. Leroon, have you now thought better of having me do this show? Because it's just a fucking hour-long sales pitch. Is that what you thought was going to happen?
Actually, I wanted to have you show us some of the work that you've done, and you're doing that just fine. And also, I want to let people know that I own a majority of these modules. Over time, I've collected them, and I use every single one of them, not every day, but there's something in each one of those that I use for whatever reason I need it for. So this stuff's very useful, and it also makes it so that the community is showing what they can do as a whole, and that's why I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, this should inspire people as I'm going through these to go, hey, I know how to do some of that. Let me do some of that. So then, yeah, absolutely. Exactly. So this is a really interesting one here, and the reason I'm using the word interesting is it's definitely just a straight out monster manual. There's 13 original monsters, and this guy Jeremy Hart does Kickstarters. This one here in particular wasn't Kickstarter because you can't fulfill a Kickstarter on DM's Guild because it's against terms of service. But he did do this for the DM's Guild, and it's got 13 monsters, and he tells you what they all are here, and they're all statted out just like any monsters would be in a monster manual. And it has been up since July 19th, and I think it's sold 2 copies. So
wow.
This, as far as the stable of Rob Toohey titles, this is a complete failure, and I have never figured out why. I have no idea why nobody wants this. But, everything can't all be roses and pancakes. So there you go. But it is there if people are interested. Next one up is one of the other solo adventures, so not much to say about this, just a solo adventure in the continuing saga. This was the 3rd one, called Citadel of the Raven. Super fun to play by yourself. And a small problem, Fantasy Grounds, is Travis Legge. Surprise! I guess he's done more than a lot of people have, but a lot of his were recent and all bunched together. That's why it seems like his name's coming up. This one is a 2 to 4 hour adventure for 1st to 3rd level characters. So there you go, one shot. Next up is Faiths of the Forgotten Realm. This one's popular. This one held the #1 spot on the DM's Guild in the PDF format for like 2 months. And it has 50 cleric domains, 50 paladin oaths. That wasn't a fucking giant pain in the ass to make. 2 druid circles, 1 ranger archetype, 176 spells, y'all. 176 spells. 28 holy texts, which can be used for, if your game has religious tones in it, or you want to do from the gods and stuff. 18 magic items and 13 artifacts. So that's a significantly substantial module. And again, let's click on it. How many pages? I think it was like 200 pages, 180. Yeah, 199 pages was the module, or the PDF.
I remember bugging you about it too.
Yeah, and a lot of these titles, by the way, a lot of what I'm showing you here are as a result of Leroon PMing me in Discord with a link to a DM's Guild title and then the phrase, get on it. And so a lot of these...
Please do it.
Yeah, some people suggest to me that I do things or try to find the author. Sometimes, now after 3 years, I have some authors that email me and say, hey, do you want to do this? And then some I see and I go, ooh, that looks cool. Let me go ask them if they want me to do it. The Hags Hexes, made by about 5 of these guys. And this is it's more of a guide to hags and extra lore and different stuff like that. And so if you're specifically into the hag monster, this like really maxes it out. It's got role-playing tips, combat tactics, mechanical expansions, chapters full of new magic items and new monsters and mechanics and examples of bargaining, and it just goes on and on. So it's pretty extensive if that's what you're into, if that's your niche thing that you like. Complete Martialist Handbook. This was also a popular thing that stayed up there for a really long time, by Benjamin Huffman and Ross Leiser. So this has 16 new archetypes, 4 for the Barbarian, Fighter, Ranger, and Rogue each, 17 new weapons, and you don't see new weapons very often, 18 new feats, and 36 new magical items. So lots of extra stuff and options for character building and things like that there. Minds of Chult is a Jeff Stevens and Tony Petreka and Sean Merwin, and this is an adventure for levels 1 through 16, and again, it is scalable. So you can run any group from any level for the first 3 tiers through this adventure, and all the encounters and everything are there for scaling depending on what your group level is. Oh, what happened there? It didn't go take me back to where I was. What the hell? What kind of bullshit? All right. Windows. Rob Toohey. Monsters of the Guild. Everybody should know about this. Monsters of the Guild was a giant project done by, I think, 49 authors. Forward by Chris Lindsay from the DM's Guild, or from DM's Guild, but also WotC. He's the guy that invented the DM's Guild. He did the forward for us. It's available in PDF, it's available in hardback, and it's also available in Fantasy Grounds. It's got 121 monsters in it. The hardback book has, and the PDF has 100 monsters. 120, and so the Fantasy Grounds has 121 because the one extra monster, there wasn't room for it in the book because the book layout has to be so many pages and all this other shit, right? Hashtag publishing reasons. So there's an extra monster in the Fantasy Grounds module, and this was the companion piece to Monsters of the Guild, which will also be on the list, which was the free Doctors Without Borders version. Let me just skip down to that real quick. Oh, you know what? It's not on the list. That's why, because it doesn't have my name on it, actually. So let's just really quick go look for that. It does have my name on it, but because there were so many people that worked on that, the DM's Guild limits, not Monsters of the Guild, god damn it, Monsters Without Borders. Make a donation. Monsters Without Borders, here it is. So up here where you see all the authors listed, the DM's Guild doesn't, it's only allows 256 characters, or it's some, math Windows thing that doesn't allow you to put every name. So my name's definitely here. It's right here. As a matter of fact, I'm singled out. Special thanks to Rob Toohey. But when I go look it up on titles and with my name, it doesn't show up. But this is the free version that you can. This hasn't been updated. We've raised $2,400 so far. It's more like $5,000. So this is the version that you can go and you can actually put $0 in it and pay what you want and get it for free. So this has 20 monsters in it that are in Monsters of the Guild. But what this has that Monsters of the Guild doesn't have, and the reason you want to download this one, is it has 2 backgrounds. The Hospitalist and whatever the other one is called. Obviously doctor-y kind of a thing. And also a Paladin Oath. And Monsters of the Guild does not have those 3 things. So if you want those, you can go download this free one right here. So that's the story on that. Okay. How are we doing on time? Holy shit.
Yep. It's time to show that prize. We got a
prize
tonight?
Let's give away the prize. Let's do that. So, for the prize, everybody, we're gonna give away a free copy of the thing.
Yep.
What was it called?
That is the. It's such a long title. The Druid Essentials is what I'm calling it.
Critically awesome essentials. And this, which is a framework extension, and then modules go with it. And the one module that's available that comes with it now for free is the Druid Essentials, which we showed. And we are going to make the keyword for the raffle Diablo Bob.
Yeah.
So if you want to win a copy of this, and your name isn't Diablo Bob, because he already has his, type in the chat exclamation DIABLOBOB, Diablo Bob, and you will be entered into the drawing, and we'll run a timer for that. Hey Siri, set timer for 1 minute 40 seconds.
Now, if you don't mind, Rob, we would like to see that as a recap because there's some few people here that weren't here when we did the initial
so
showing.
we can do that.
Yep.
So here is, there's an extension installed, and there is a module installed. And on my example character here, I have, take this off. There we go. I have this guy. He's on the map here next to this monster. And I have an effect here called Wild Shape Elemental Water. And I'm a high-level druid, so I can shape into an elemental now. I'm like a 19th level druid or whatever. So I have this effect on my sheet, and all I have to do is click this button. And it resizes my token and makes me a water elemental. It changes my strength and my dex and my con and my AC to match right within my character sheet, to match the stats of the elemental. It gives me all my immunities, and it tells me what my swim speed is, that I have dark vision. It tells me my different languages. It basically gives you all the information that you need so that you don't need the stat block. The DM doesn't have to share the stat block with me. So I fight and I do all kinds of crap, and everything's going fine. And I have, 114 hit points instead of my original 50. But then this guy damages me. Let's say he damages me for 120 hit points. Can I even do that? Can I drop that in there? Oh, the timer's up. Okay. I guess you can't do that. Okay, so it doesn't work to type it in, but you have to take damage. So let me roll damage. Let me get damage, and I'll just. 15 isn't a lot, but I'm gonna have to do it like 10 times, but whatever. Oh, what happened? Oh, okay. So I'd already applied damage to myself. So I already had all this damage, and then it damaged me through. It changed me back. It carried the extra damage through, and then it reset my AC, and it reset my first 3 stats. So basically, it is a one-click operation for wild shaping, so that you and your DM don't have to spend 14 minutes, and every other player's like waiting on the druid. It's all just one click and done.
It
So that's
changes
how
your
that is.
token, so it's awesome.
And it does change your token, yeah. And even the size of the token if necessary. Okay, so here we go. The winner is Nebbiolo.
Yeah.
Boom. And
Congrats.
Ehaub. So 2 winners.
Ooh,
So
fancy
Nebbiolo and Ehaub. Yeah. You guys PM me in Discord and let me know, and I will get you copies of that. Savage of the Encounter Jungles, don't need to go to that screen because it's just another Savage adventure, or adventures like the other ones. Here, Tyrant of the Zentral Keep, don't need to go to that screen. Tribor Trilogy is an adventure pack, and the other 3 adventures I think are available, but this is the pack of them, and they're basically just one-shots back-to-back by MT Black. So, yeah, up levels 1 through 4 up to 20 hours of play, and I think that's the whole pack. And so let's see, that's mine. Shadows on the Long Road is one of those adventures. The Terror of Tribor is one of those adventures, so you can buy them singly or the whole pack. Let's see, coding, mine, this is mine. These are all mine. Okay, good. Next page. Mine. Into the Belly of the Beast is a Jeff Stevens thing, and it is a it has 1 new magic item, 3 new creatures, 8 hand-drawn maps, and it is a 4 to 5 characters, level 5 through 8 adventure, so it's a one-shot. Well, level 5 through 8. 6 to 8 hours, it says. I think it's scaled for level 5 through 8. Okay, mine. Mini caves. Yes. 3 extraordinary and original adventures in 1 affordable bundle. There you go. So, Lizard Folk Tunnels, Cavern of One Eye. One Eye. That's like an ass. Isn't that code for ass? The Lair of the Frosting Bite. And a frosting bite is what you want to buy at the store. You just want a little bite of frosting. They should sell those. Volo's racial archetypes, 41 new archetypes and 8 new races. Pretty self-explanatory. You don't have to even look at it. Same thing here. Racial archetypes, 40 new archetypes for all classes. Hex Witch is a one-shot, I believe. Oh, no, it's not a one-shot.
I thought that was a class.
It is a class. You're absolutely right, Fury, because you're smart and I'm stupid. That is a class that has 3 archetypes, the Seer, the Combat Spellcaster, and the Utility Healer, known as the Wild Witch, the Fey Witch, or the Augury Witch. Yes, that's absolutely a class. And how I didn't know that, because it's pretty popular. People like that one. Mine, Struggle in Three-Horn Valley, Chult, that is an adventure. Between Adventures Handbook, that is kind of the same as the Dungeon Masters Bundle 2. It is just a multitude of information. Exotic mounts, horse tables, stores, inns and taverns, random encounters, carousing tables, pickpocket tables, hirelings tables, on and on and on and on and on. It's especially for DMs who are like, I need a random wilderness feature. And then you just roll on the table and it's there. It's done. That's mine. Here's another solo adventure. That was the first one, Death Knight Squire. Hunted is a Tony Petrecca thing. He's the guy that made Killer Kobolds, which you'll see here. And this is a 4 to 6 adventurers of levels 5 to 7. Boom, one shot. There you go. That's how you do it. Hunted. You're out in the snow. You don't have your coat. Your mom's yelling at you. It's bad news. Encounters in the Savage Cities. Another group of encounters. 26 of them, as a matter of fact. All kind of city-based. Now, there's quick dungeons. These are one-shot dungeons, one map, one scenario, usually about between 8 and 12 locations on the map. Quick one-shot, play it a couple hours. There's 5 of them. So here's number 5. Here's number 1 in French. That's right. You heard me. Here's number 4, number 3, number 2, and number 1. And then here's Temple of the Nightbringers, which was one of those part of the Tribord trilogy. That's mine. Encounters in the Savage Frontier. Again, here's the Haunt, the first one, so you guys know about that. Killer Kobolds. This was also made by Tony Petrecca. And if I'm not mistaken, I think we're done because this I think was the first thing I converted for someone other than me that I worked with. We'll check and see if I'm right about that. So this is a parties of 4 to 8 characters. Why anybody would play with 8 characters, I'll never figure out. 4 to 8 characters of levels 8 through 12. So there you go. And then is that the last one? Is it?
Should be close.
Yep, these are all me. Yeah, all the way down to 101. Except for it's 102 because the Monsters Without Borders. All right, guys, we did it, and we did it almost in an hour.
Perfect, man. Good
so
job.
That's everything. So we led with the good thing, which was the critically awesome essentials with the Druid pack, and it's gonna just change people's games. It's gonna be amazing. I've used it. Couple people that were excited about it have already said. Have already PM'd me and said, this is amazing. And I'm like, tell Diablo Bob. He's the one that did it. He's the one that's awesome.
Diablo Bob.
Diablo Bob was going to be our special guest on the show tonight with voice, but he couldn't make it because reasons, everybody. So if you get a chance to thank him, that's the guy you want to thank for doing that. And at this point, we've sold 12 copies of it. So 12 people have purchased it.
Nice.
And is it possible? No, I don't think that happens till 10 o'clock. I was going to go and I was going to look here and see. It'll show up under new things.
So you're going to use this Wednesday, right?
There it is. Oh yeah, there's 2 druids that are playing in the game now. Two people.
Oh,
Everybody
yeah.
wants to be a druid now. So it's there. Let's see, VTT format, virtual tabletop. I don't think it might not have had enough time to show up under hottest yet. No, it's not in the hottest yet. It would be in the newest. It should appear right there, yeah. But it's not in the hottest list because that only repopulates twice a day. I think at 10 p.m. and 10 a.m. So it's not going to show up there. But it will more than likely show up in the number 1 or 2 spot on hottest virtual tabletop. And that's it. Any questions? Who's got questions? Brontosaurus.
Yeah, I don't see any really. Just
Oh,
some comments here and there.
Diablo Bob wants to see Brontosaurus. Here, hold
Let's
on
see
a
the
sec.
Bronto.
Brontosaurus. Okay, hold on.
Start over.
All right, here I am. I'm Mr. Druid. I'm just this guy. I'm just a guy who's a druid. And I'm just here. And now I'm going to turn into a Brontosaurus. Ha ha! Yeah! I'm gargantuan.
Holy cow.
Nice. And then now I don't want to be. Oh, you know what? I want to change from a Brontosaurus to a wolf. Bam!
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you do it. I didn't even show that. You can go from form to form.
But I don't
That's
think
cool.
that's ability. Is that?
Yes, as a druid, you can change from form to form. What you would have to do, though, is you would have to come up here and you'd have to take off the Brontosaurus and just be the wolf. Yeah.
Be the wolf.
So there you go, everybody. That's how you do it.
Yeah,
That
that's
is how
cool.
you do it. Rob Tui, second on VTT list because these people kicked me off. Boo. These Guild Adept people with their popularity and their fans. I used to dominate. I used to have 8 of the top 10 on VTT. Now there's only like 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. What is number 10? Yep, I'm only 3 of the top 10 now. Because of these people with their guild people that they, what's that called? Adventurers League. Yeah, Adventurers League's very popular. They put an Adventurers League thing on there. It sells like a fucking 1,000 copies in 10 minutes. It's crazy.
Wow.
So, all right. Is that it? Are we done? Is that the whole show? We gave away prizes. We showed everything.
Yep.
It's over. All right.
I think it's good.
So next week, we're going to kind of do the same thing, only it'll be a little different because it'll be talking about things that I've done by myself, and I will probably give away many more prizes. And as a matter of fact, next week is the 23rd.
So, Christmas Eve special?
Yes, it is. It is the
Yeah.
Christmas Eve special. And then
On Monday, somebody
After-
else is doing a
after
thing.
we go over everything, I'm going to package everything we talked about up and put it on the DMs Guild at midnight. And then there'll be the 2018 package and the 2016 through 18 package, both 50% off. And people will be crazy and go nuts, and I'll break all kinds of records. In order to break a record, I only need to sell like 7 or 8 of them in one day. I don't know. We'll see. And then people will be like, you know what? I already have your shit. Fuck you. Rob
What's the
does a
next one?
lot by himself. The next one after that is the New Year's Eve show, a year in review, where we're just
Yep.
going to talk about all the fun stuff. We're just going to look at this menu and go, remember when we did that? Remember?
Yep.
And
Yep.
it'll be fun and give away a lot of prizes. And then we'll take a five weeks off.
Yep.
We're going to take all of January off because mental health. And then we're going to take the first show in February, we're going to take off because that's the day of the Super Bowl. And you don't dare do anything that day. All entertainers, all television people, all movie people, everybody in the world doesn't do anything on the Super Bowl day. You show a rerun and you go watch the game. That's what you do. Even if you're not a football fan, you're supposed to be watching the Super Bowl. I don't know how people do it.
So Rob, do you have a shortcut for your project list again for the stream?
Oh yes, the Rob Toohey,
Public.
the public. Let's see, Rob Toohey projects should show up. Yeah, is this it? Yeah. Yeah, here it is. So this is a public spreadsheet that anybody can always. You guys can bookmark this in case you ever want to look at it. This is in my Discord, by the way. It's linked in my Discord. This is everything I've ever done. You can click on any one of these things, and so it tells you I've done 102 DM's Guild things, 37 Smiteworks store things, 5 things on DriveThruRPG, 1 book on Amazon. I did 15 things in 2016. The next year I did 62. This year I've done 68. Next year I haven't done anything because it's the future. So I have 145 things out there in the world for sale with my name on it. Like, what? And then here's all the shit I'm working on. Lost Laboratory of Quailish, I believe if I stream that tomorrow on Module Creation Monday, I will finish it. It will be done. And then I'll turn it in, and then 7 years later, WotC will approve it. Opus of Elemental Substance, 60 new spells. Going to be working on that. Villains and Lairs, I'm waiting on the final version. That was the number one, might still be the number one thing on the DM's Guild, but I'm waiting on the final version of that. Also, Comprehensive Equipment Manual, waiting on the final version of that. So I can't start those. Eberron Archetypes, Nightmares working on. Solo Adventures Toolbox, Walking Dude is working on. And then Complete 2018 and 2016 through 2018. Those come on the 24th. Booming, 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 booming. Right there, like that. It makes me happy to click on this back and forth like that. It makes me happy.
All right.
It's like a fidgeting thing. You ever do that? I wonder if you own an iPhone or an Android, if you open your phone and you scroll left and right across all your apps, and then it's almost like a fidget spinner. I find myself doing that and not doing anything else mentally, just like being zoned out. So what I've done now is I've made myself put everything into folders. And so there is only one screen of apps on my iPhone. I can't scroll back and forth because there's only one screen. Because I was just doing that for like 20 minutes at a time, zoning out. Like I was some sort of mental defective. Which, arguably I am anyway, but... Period, you don't say anything.
I didn't.
I know.
Didn't,
You were
but
waiting.
I might have thought it.
Yeah, you did. You thought. So good. So there's that list. Here's our shows. We did 50 shows are in the books now, you guys. 50 shows done. Nice. Well, we will be back next week, and if you guys, meaning Furied and Leroon, don't have anything else, I'm done with you. But please feel free to give any final thoughts or words for today.
I think it was awesome. I think you guys did a great job on that. It was very timely because we were getting into some articles about that. So I'm going to have to go back and update it now.
Cool.
So.
Also, for those of you that might be watching on YouTube that don't see this message, Diablo Bob is typing in the chat, if there's something you'd like to see added to Essentials, please message me in Discord. So you can go on my Discord and get a hold of Diablo Bob. He is looking for more ideas. He's already working on 2 or 3 other things as we speak. Secret information. Hashtag can't say it. He says, or you can just curse at Rob. Either one will work. And then he said, before end of the stream, can you say that on stream? Which I just did. Since he can't get on mic. Can't or won't. Valerian. All right. Thanks, you two. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream, so I'm going to go off voice with you guys. If you leave, fuck off. If not, I'll see you in a minute. I'm just kidding. It's jokes, everybody. It's just fun stuff. But thank you to my co-hosts, and I'll talk to you guys. Well, no, I don't know. No, never mind. You guys can be here. I'm just going to turn your voice off. You can listen to me if you want. As far as the stream is concerned, let me go ahead and switch to the slides for you guys. So that's show 50 in the books for Sunday nights. We are going to be here tomorrow. We, meaning me. I'll be here for Mods of Creation Monday. Tuesday's nothing. Wednesday is Waterdeep Dragon Eyes. God, I have no idea where I am or what planet I am. Wednesday, you all know what Wednesday is. Wednesday is 5e pickup games. And you're all welcome to come, and you're all welcome to invite your friends to come, and everybody can be there. And if we have 50 people, let that be a problem, or I have to figure out what to do. But if you want to be a druid, come and be a druid and use the wild shape thing. I think we're going to have at least 2 druids in the game anyway. Friday, of course, is Mr. Joe Numbers DMing Fury, Deny, and others through Dungeon of the Mad Mage, where I am a druid, and I am using the wild shape thing, and becoming a bear and then getting squeezed in the hallway and saying, fuck it, never mind. And Saturday is Roundtable for now. Secret information. Saturdays are changing in the future. And then Sunday we're back to this again. So thanks everybody for watching. Congrats to the 2 prize winners. PM me in Discord if you haven't already. And hopefully you can all join me for tomorrow. Big thanks to Diablo Bob for the new extension and mod and future mods that he put together. Pretty exciting stuff. I love it. And we'll see you all next time. Until then, good gaming, everyone.